are beginning to receive signals. So I would like you to let me know if your area has become better now. But they're working on it to ensure that all the areas that usually get to hear from us and you get to listen to our program will definitely get covered. And we promise you that it is strictly being worked upon. So I want to sincerely do apologize. We are not limiting you or isolating you from not being part of the conversations that we have right here on your favorite radio station where you have the people's voice. My name is Xtian. I'm actually impressed and I'm happy to be here with you today. And one of the reasons is because today is the final, supposedly for some persons, the final day in the week to go to work officially. For some of us, well, the media never goes to bed, so we're always here. So definitely during the weekend, we'll be coming here. But like I said, we're happy to be with you. First off, I would implore you to go onto our YouTube channel and actually click on at VOP 903 FM. So on your application, that is your YouTube application, go on the search bar, type VOP 903 FM, and we're streaming live. I'm also streaming live on Instagram. That's at ESTANWAZ. ESTANWAZ. So we're going to be looking at some hot topics this evening. But being the fact that today is Friday, we're going to be doing a step down. A lot of you have been sending messages as to when are we going to do a step down. Not everything will carry Nigeria Wahala puts for head. Don't worry, we're going to have a step down. I would like your contribution on that. But let's start off as fast as possible so we get to that. You know how the process is. We start off, we take the top stories that are the hot topics this evening. I will definitely introduce my analyst in the studio today. Afterwards, we get your reaction and then we go into the step down segment. So, interestingly, right, very funny though, is the fact that protesters stormed the United Nations building in Abuja. They're demanding the evidence from Natasha Akpoti. They're saying, okay, you know what, this time, Natasha, if you say that what happened is actually the truth, present the evidence. In other words, even if your case is in courts, you can begin to expose some certain things on social media. Let's know the authenticity of your claim so that other women who have been sexually harassed can also use the opportunity to air their own complaints. But these politicians, may I tell you, they know what they're doing. And this whole thing, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not just only ascribed to Godswill Akpabio. A lot of these things happen. They know how to go about it. But now that this case has been publicized, they're asking for evidence. So they thronged the United Nations building today and they're demanding that the burden of proof lies with the accuser. They carried placards and with different inscriptions, banners with different inscriptions at the United Nations building in Abuja. They say the burden of proof lies with the accuser. Natasha, where is your evidence of sexual harassment by Senator Godswill Akpabio? Another, placard also had an inscription with it: we believe in actual victims of sexual harassment, not people who weaponize it against men. Also, there was also another placard with inscriptions: women for change, Vanguard stands in solidarity with Senator Akpabio. Women change, God, call for, several talks and several calls with different banners on it. They're asking that Natasha Akpoti presents her proof of sexual allegation against, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the 003, number 3 in the Nigerian federal cabinet. Now, another interesting thing for you to also note is the fact that, like I said, since yesterday, we've been talking about coalition permutations of certain persons merging to form a strong opposition ahead of 2027. If you had listened to the world news at 6, we discussed extensively on that, but we'll be looking into another angle. So here is the thing, right? There are talks recently. Peter Obi met with Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi State, and but the governor said he likes Peter Obi's kind of leadership, his kind of politics, and he would like to work with him. He also said that his kind of politics transcends ethnic religious lines. It's all about good governance and they love it. But that they need to form a strong coalition, a coalition that people would love, a coalition that represents the interests of the people to unseat the APC ahead of 2027. I want people to know that the president is not bothered by all this talk. So now my analyst at the World News at 6 said that anybody who wants to form a coalition should not be airing it now, because you're already allowing certain elements to disrupt the process. But who knows? This could just be a smokescreen to what is precisely going on behind the scenes. Now, Peter Obi responded. If you had listened to the World News at 6, I played the audio there. And he talked about good governance. That was all he kept on saying. He never said anything about being part of a coalition or joining anybody. The reason I said so is that the factional publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party of the Labour Party in 2023, that is Arabambi, now went on a particular interview very recently to state that they're trying to reconcile. I think they're now in the camp of Peter Obi. They're coming together. He was able to portray that there is no political party where there are no dispute, and he made reference to what happened in Lagos State and how the president had to intervene, and that is the same thing they're doing with Peter Obi. So as it stands, he made that statement that they've automatically given the ticket to Peter Obi for 2027. They are seeing Peter Obi as their presidential flag bearer for 2027, and they see him as a strong individual, all right, that they're going to back up to help unseat the APC in 2027. How true this is what we don't know. Peter Obi, in the whole of this permutation, has not disclosed if he's merging with the SDP, as there were certain, narratives circulating that he was merging with El Rufai. We also heard now that Bauchi governor is actually insinuating that there is a tendency that they want Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed to now join the People's Democratic Party. Again, it's all under the umbrella of good governance to ensure that Nigerians no longer suffer and go through this stifling economic conditions. Well, let's listen to an supposed extensive response from Arabambi. It will help us make our minds precisely what is really going on. Sometimes there are certain narratives that we listen to in the news, but these political actors know what they're doing behind the scenes.
And I think Nigeria are now beginning to see those who claim to be Obi-centric, certain individuals who are very happy, concerning the crisis we have in our party. And I think Nigeria are now beginning to see those who claim to be Obi-centric throughout the 2023 election, but who are now jumping ship, to APC. However, we have always been alerting the general public about, the clandestine move of more than these people, that they are not really, our member. They don't have the love of the party in their heart, other than they came actually to just seek a position, and when they failed to get it, they just decided to hide under the crisis, the Labour Party to not jump ship to APC. At the two of them, you can see we have Kenneth Okonkwo, and we have Valentine Sosibo. These are the people who said they are Obi-centric. But if you look at their principal, he's in Labour Party even up to today. But they, for instance, known to them because they wanted to take, the highest meat in the pot, which people tell them, no, you need to wait for your turn. And that was why they defected. It was not because of, any crisis. Because as far as we are concerned in Labour Party, when you are submitted yourself to judicial process, you need to wait until the end. That is how we can tell Nigeria that we are different when we are in government. So it was in the course of this that, I met with Mr. Peter Obi to discuss, things that went wrong. He saw some things that was wrong. We also saw something that was wrong. And we just decided that, okay, we need to meet in the middle. And part of what we complained about was that we have a lot of people just came into the party then to come and tell us, because we are from PDP or APC, then we are the king of the jungle. But we let them understand that, no, you are not the king of the jungle. We have to play by the rules. So that's why I met him, because actually, this crisis started from our hand. But because of a new Nigeria that we believe it is possible, because of the current state of economic, conundrum, we believe that we have to close rank. If not, if we should allow the present administration to exceed, beyond 2027, all of us, might have something to regret about. That was the purpose of that meeting, to tell him that, okay, all of us, let's work together, and we also agree. And for me to tell Nigeria, he actually put a call through to Alhaji Apapa that day, he apologizes to him. Baba also, talked back to him that, okay, we will meet. I know he traveled out. He might be back now. Once he come back, all of us are going to hold a unity meeting with Apapa, with Mr. Julius Abure, the chairman, the secretary. All of us are going to hold a unity meeting to send a signal to the ruling party in 2027, who have been boasting that there is no vacancy in Aso Rock. We will tell them that there is vacancy in Aso Rock when the time comes, as we are prepared to present Obi to challenge the current status quo of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027.
Well, listen, this is
about merging Labour Party with any other party.
okay.
That would be very, very impossible. What we are thinking is about collaboration. But the major factor, is this. He will still represent our party in 2027 to face Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because if you look at the last election, we have a lot of issues, even from the INEC, that made us, to come that third. Within that space of, 7-8 months, we are able to pull over 6 million votes. We will now be playing to the gallery if you say we now want to be shopping for another presidential candidate. So as we believe now, the point remains, who is the best, who is our number 9 that could score the goal for us. That number 9 remains Peter Obi, and this assertion has been echoed, confirmed by even the national chairman, regarding the issue of presidential candidate in 2027, that we will still put forward Mr. Peter Obi to challenge the APC, because that is the only person. We won't be able to talk about PDP because we know the crisis in PDP, they may not even be able to present candidates in 2027, but we are prepared. And that's why we close rank within ourselves now. Let us forge ahead. He will still lead the pack. He's going to be a president candidate in 2027, so that APC, who are saying there are no vacancy, probably that message for PDP is not for Labour Party. We are letting them know that enough of the crisis, the division they have caused within the party, it's enough. We are now together, unity of purpose, with Julius Abure, Mr. Peter Obi, Nenedi Usman, every one of us, the NSC, the TUC, we are all coming together as a strong force in 2027 to challenge the present administration. And God willing, we might have our way so that we can provide a new leadership for Nigerians.
So I'm wondering what role,
we are going to, have an all-inclusive meeting now in Abuja that will involve, the chairman, the secretary, the NSC, the TUC, and Mr. Peter Obi, and other, stakeholder. There is no political crisis that cannot be resolved. Look at what happened even in Lagos APC. The president called them, even though, a lot of things are, happen underground, which all of us know, but they came out to say, oh, it's a family affair, and the president summoned them to Abuja that, look, let us cheat our sword. You know why he did that? Because he knew they would lose Lagos. He knew that Lagos State is for them to lose in 2027. So he doesn't even want to play another wrong card. That's why he called the assembly come. So in our own part, the NSC, the TUC, we are all working together. We are discussing heavily now, around after that my meeting with Mr. Peter Obi, that it is necessary for all of us to come together. If we are going to change the status quo, if power must change at the 2027, then all of us, must come together. We have to drop our individual differences, come together and work as a team to make sure we put forward our best leg, which is Mr. Peter Obi as our number 9 striker, that will be able to score no less than maybe 20-25 million goals, vote for us in 2027 to defeat Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of APC.
All right, so it's quite an irony because I remember the same Arabambi appearing on several television stations, speaking down on Peter Obi, calling Peter Obi the problem of the Labour Party, the Peter Obi and the Obedience being the ones causing the problem within the Labour Party, Peter Obi and his, members of the Obedience, the supporters wanting to upstage and take over positions, turning it to a particular ethnic group political party. I recall, if I want to play a lot of his throwbacks and all the things he said about Peter Obi, and now you are in the same breath saying that this is the person that would help you attain that change. All right, power must change hands according to him in 2027. You people that used to take politicians serious, it's to your own detrimental. Are you seeing the swipe? The swipe is so immediate. You use handkerchief, clean this side, you clean half, the other place dust remain, the other side is clean. So if they ask you, say no be me talk am, you see say the face no be the same just because there's dust there. So yeah, that's how ironical and ridiculous these things go. But yes, that's Arabambi affirming. So why I played this audio is that, for example, if the Labour Party is insisting that Peter Obi is their presidential candidate for 2027, Governor Bala Mohammed is coming to say that they would love to work with Peter Obi, and they're saying how they would ensure that he comes back to the PDP along with his vice that they ran together with Labour Party in 2023. So what exactly is going on? Is Peter Obi still believing that somehow Labour Party would work? Is he trying to make up his mind? will he even run in 2027? Because it feels like there are people who want him to run, but he's been quiet. He has not really said anything. He's just been preaching good governance. He will work with anyone that will promote good governance. So if Arabambi is saying he just spoke with Peter Obi, and Peter Obi, called Lamidi Akpapa, and everything is being resolved, they're talking about how to grow the party, ensure all members come together. And Bauchi Governor Bala Mohammed is saying that I want you to come and join the PDP. We would like to work with you. Well, I would say that Peter Obi right now is the chicken breast. The sumptuous chicken breast. Exactly. So, yeah, interesting too, right? Now, the Social Democratic Party is claiming that the All Progressives Congress government has concluded plans to file multiple criminal charges against Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir Al-Rufai. And this is coming just as Al-Rufai defected to the Social Democratic Party from the All Progressives Congress. So, the publicity secretary of the SDP, Ambassador Rufus Ainigba, said there is a plot from the APC government to suppress opposition figures, to instill fear in political circles, and prevent further defections. Well, you remember one time Adams Oshiomhole said, if you are part of the APC, was it not Adams that said it? If you join the APC, all your sins are forgiven. So obviously, whatever umbrella of immunity that was protecting El-Rufai, we don't expect it to still be there now. I don't know. You've left the APC. Your immunity is off. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I think for him to have publicly defected, then he was ready for whatever consequences that would come with that, isn't it? So interestingly, like I said earlier, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there are reports that he disclosed that the situation that degenerated to the point where the speaker, Obasa, was initially impeached was caused by the governor of the state, and that he wondered why the governor of the state will infuse himself in how events are being run at the Lagos State House of Assembly. If you recall, when the impeachment occurred the first time, Miranda was reinstated or was instated as a speaker of the Lagos State House, or selected, or majority said they wanted her. Majority of the lawmakers said they wanted her. Well, you remember when Obasa stormed the house with some policemen and said he is the one that is now the speaker. We heard reports that the governor had tried to access the president, have some kind of, closed door meeting with the president, but he was snubbed and he was denied. The president did not grant him that access. So is it surprising that we're now hearing this information that the president is really now, that he wondered why the Lagos State governor would be part of whatever is going on in the Lagos State House of Assembly. He doesn't understand what exactly was the reason for him being part of the process, and that the president found it troubling that the executive branch was heavily involved in deciding who should lead the assembly. So the whole fracas between the governor and Obasa, maybe at the time that we heard, could actually be verified with this particular source disclosing what happened at the meeting in Aso Villa. And when this whole crisis began, the president also told Obasa to withdraw his suit from the courts. He should take up his mantle of being the Lagos State House of Speaker, and also accept his deputy, who is Miranda, drop whatever issues he has with anybody, and continue his role that he was on before he was impeached. And those at the same time disclosed that all principal officers and committee chairmen should remain in their positions. However, the issue of the house clerk remains unresolved, with lawmakers divided between the former clerk Olalekan Onafeko, favored by Obasa, and the current clerk Taiwo Otun, preferred by the majority. So that case is in court because Onafeko returned on his own without getting any court order to know if indeed he was permitted to resume as the clerk of the house. So the president couldn't intervene in that. Another interesting thing to consider here, which I find very heartbreaking, is a particular young man called Sunday Jackson. Sunday Jackson is a 20-year-old and an expectant father at the time in Adamawa State. So a young man who is farming, he went to the farm. While he was farming, some herdsmen invaded, his plantation or where he was farming, and he asked them to leave. He asked the headman and his cows to leave. He asked the man to leave, and the young header refused to leave. So the person, who I would call a terrorist, removed a knife and stabbed him on the leg and another part of his body. Sunday Jackson was able to wrestle the man and stabbed him back. Now he was taken to prison. His trial did not start officially until 7 years. Sanjay Jackson was in prison for 7 years before his case was reopened. The lower court sentenced him to death by hanging, that, based on manslaughter, that he killed somebody. The Supreme Court also upheld the verdict of the lower court, and their verdict was that Sanjay Jackson should have run away when the Fulani terrorist stabbed him. Somebody that was stabbed on the leg, you expected him to run away. This is a case of self-defense, and you expect the man to run away. Now, international communities, human rights organizations are pleading with the president and the state governor to please make sure that this man is released. He defended himself, and this is what these Fulani terrorists have been doing across several farmlands. So in other words, you are free to do what you want to do to people's farmlands or possibly injure them. But if you hurt them, you'll definitely be sentenced to death by hanging. Remember again that this man is so poor, he didn't have proper legal representation. In fact, the window through which petitions were meant to be submitted elapsed. So a proper lawyer was now brought in, and they saw a lot of discrepancies in the process through which his own legal practitioner went about the whole thing. And they're writing and saying the Supreme Court cannot rule like this. What is going on with our judicial system and the common man? Somebody defended himself, and you're saying the person should die by hanging. And we've had persons who have murdered, we've had corrupt leaders with evidence of embezzlement, and they're giving presidential pardon. This is something I don't understand. I really cannot put in concept what this means. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce my guests in the studio today. First off, I have with me Mr. Ola Emmanuel. Mr. Ola Emmanuel is a political and social commentator, and I also have Mr. Lawal Ekundare. Mr. Lawal Ekundare, good evening. How are you?
Fine.
Thank you for joining me.
Sorry, I wanted to say better.
Better. You like to say better.
No, because fine doesn't work in Nigeria.
Oh, really?
It's better. It's either you go up or you come down. So we're always fluctuating in Nigeria.
Okay. So let's start off with the whole political party permutations. Do you believe Arabanbi with all of this talk that he's saying now? And would you expect Peter Obi to remain in the Labour Party or join forces now that he's been the beautiful bride, being invited to go back to a party that he once belonged to, which is the PDP?
See, when if you look at APC that we have today, this is not the first time. It started with I think AD.
Okay.
Became AC, ACN, APC over time. Now, what am I saying? Now, what is happening is that at that time, they keep looking for who to work with. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
They keep looking for who to work with. Who am I going to work with? There was a time Ribadu was the presidential candidate. Later, it became the next presidential candidate was Atiku. Is that not it? Then
I think there was a time the then governor of is it Imo? No, not Imo.
Which one? Or Abia State?
Yeah, Abia. Is it Abia?
Or Jikalo?
No, not.
Which one?
Go ahead, yes, that's not this.
Just go ahead. Don't derail his thoughts. Don't derail his thoughts. Please continue. Yeah.
No, so now what I'm saying that you see until another merger, like about 3 mergers now. Am I correct? Now, until Buhari came up in APC. Is that not? With a lot of merger.
It was a merger between CPC
and not even two. Many of them merged together at that moment. And then Buhari, APC was able to get the power. If you see across board, they were always insult. You get it? And at along the line, you see them piling again at a point. When the Badru was their presidential candidate, there was a lot of insult on Atiku. Do you remember? Yes. There was a lot of insult, and before you know it, Atiku became the same candidate for the people who were insulting him.
Okay. And
then later we have he too insulted Buhari at a point. Now later he was supporting Buhari that he should vote for him.
Okay,
and then
in other words,
now what I'm saying is that don't always look at these things as maybe because he said something bad, he's saying something good now. Let's look at the candidate we are presenting. Let's look at the ideology. let's look at the issue on ground. Let's look at the situation. Let's look at the solution. If we keep fighting among ourselves, we cannot find it. If somebody slap you, you may decide to forgive the person. You may insult the person. When you get to police station, you may decide to tell police not to, I want to leave the case. I don't want you to pursue it. I want to forgive him. Is that not possible? So you can say this now, you can change tomorrow. That is not the point. The point we have on ground is this. There's issue in Nigeria. And we need salvation.
Okay.
You get it? So if one person is it, and if that person has been insulted by everybody, that doesn't mean that people who have been insulting him or people who don't like him cannot come back and like him.
Who are you referring to here, please?
Like,
who are you referring to here? People that don't like him will come back and like him. Who?
I'm talking about Obi.
Peter Obi.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you were saying something like Arabambi.
Yes.
Said so many things. So many things. Now
yes.
he has seen him as the appropriate candidate that they can present. And there's nothing wrong about that. What we need is to give the support. So anybody who supports Obi, give him the support. Forget about what is going on. Let them play that game up there. And then let the mass, the electorate play their own game, their own side of the something. That's the way I see it.
All right.
Then I'm coming.
Okay.
The issue of the young man that was sentenced to death.
Yes.
You know, I told
we have
you.
not gone to that yet.
Okay.
I will introduce that, please.
Okay.
I just asked you a question in a particular angle. Mr. Olamino, please let's hear you.
Good evening, Nigerians. I'm all over the world. Hearing 90.3 FM, Voice of the People from. The point of issue of what Abarambi, am I correct?
About the Peter Obi and the
Obi,
permutations and
the permutations
measure or not no measure.
The permutations in the political circle is not a new one. Over the years, you will understand with me that there is always disagreement and agreement in politics. Every person you're seeing in APC, PDP, SDP, name it, Labour Party, had gone through one or each of this party one time or the other. But I think the problem we have in Nigeria today now is that we're looking for who will take Nigerians to the promised land. And now looking at what is happening now, without much ado, everybody knows that the current administration is not giving Nigerians what they expect. So every other parties are looking for who will be the savior that will remove this pain and all manner of discomfort from Nigerians. Okay. So as we talk about that, this man is saying that Peter Obi, he must have run him down by speaking bad about him before. Okay. It will interest you to know now that the Peter Obi-led party, which is a Labour Party, and every other person that are trying to work together must have sat down and put their cards on the table and look at now. Okay. With what was happening and in preparations for 2027, who will be the right person that will be able to face this 10 competition? Okay. And that's the reason why I want to believe that by today now they have come to say that is why this man come up to say that I may say that he's bad before. Okay. He made one wisdom statement. He said, there is no party without crisis. Okay. Which means he's saying that even if there were crises before, we've been able to handle it, so we are ready to move ahead.
But with the Labour Party as it is now, with all the situations surrounding and talks about Julius Abure, other party members, massive defections, top persons who were in that political party that have left. You have Valentine Ozigbo who has left. You have Kenneth Okonkwo who has left. House of Rep members who won their ticket under the Labour Party. Some of them have defected to the ruling party. Do you think the party is a party that anyone who is interested in wanting to vote or continue with Peter Obi would want to vote for that Labour Party?
These persons that has left the party, it will interest you to. There's an underground factor.
What's the underground factor?
Yes. Now, the underground factor could be that people that they know are the brain behind the leadership of Labour Party. So the ruling party will say, if we're able to pull these strong hands away, it's going to weaken the party. But let me shock you. These persons are only seen to be the leaders of the party. There are several million Nigerians who are ready to follow Peter Obi to wherever he is. And so if they remain in Labour Party, it will shock you that they will defeat the ruling party. So that shouldn't create any fear in anybody, wheresoever the persons might be for now. And they shouldn't have any hope that now that this person has pulled out, then we're going to have an upper hand over Labour Party. Because there's a shocker that is coming.
Okay, there's a shocker that is coming. Okay, interested. Now, let's look at Natasha. Before we even head on to that, let's take a brief listen to Godswill Akpabio. So, Godswill Akpabio thanked the Senate for their vote of confidence. When he thanked the Senate for their vote of confidence, he said that he wasn't expecting them, right, to vote for him because he thought that some persons had won in whatever narrative they wanted to spread against him. Now, I found it quite funny when he made that statement. Let's just listen briefly to him thanking his members in the House, and then we'll now look at the reason for the protest today at the United Nations in Abuja. If indeed the clamor or what the women are protesting for is the right angle to go about things. Okay.
I heard on the radio that this August Assembly had passed a vote of confidence on its leadership, and particularly the Senate President. I said it would not be correct if I come and pretend like the ostrich, putting his head under his wings and pretending that it was dark. I needed to let you know that I deeply, deeply appreciate the vote of confidence passed on my leadership. And this is coming almost twice in the last 6 weeks. In 2 weeks? In the last 2 weeks. It's good to err on the part of surplusage. It's important for the public to know that my colleagues are together, the Senate is one, and bonded together by destiny and by God Almighty through elections. The 10th Senate is together, united in purpose. It's also important for the public to know that whatever decision we arrive at here is unanimous. And I recall the last decision we took, and which concerned one of our sisters here, the distinguished Senator Natasha Akpoti. I'm also aware that when she left the chambers, she went to Brakete Radio, and she went to Arise Television, and she distorted the facts. I'm aware further that she has now externalized the matter by attempting to embarrass the Federal Republic of Nigeria by going to give a narrative at the IPU UN event, totally different from what occurred in the Senate. But I want to thank our Right Honorable Member Kafilat, right? That's her name, Kafilat Okwara, who had to give a press conference in New York to caution the international press not to vilify Nigeria, but to note that the facts presented by her were totally out of tune with what occurred in the Nigerian parliament, and that we have our own internal mechanisms of resolving issues in Nigeria. And outside this parliament, we also have the judiciary, which is even standing before the judiciary. So I don't know why even here, she has brought a petition, and she has not allowed us to even look into it. She went to court, and then she has not allowed the court to look into it. She has gone to the international community, and she may not even allow the international community to look into it. She may decide to run to I don't know where. I don't want to be misquoted, but the reality is that we remain resolute. We are law-abiding. We operate through the rules of the Senate, which is an extension of the powers and privileges given to us by the ground norm, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We still are open to making sure that we remain in peace, and we left room for her to recognize that what she's doing may even frighten a lot of men in future from even appointing or selecting female deputy governors. You can imagine if somebody like Kamala, the immediate past vice president of the United States, were to go on CNN to say that Biden, the president, sexually assaulted her by shaking her hand or by holding her hand to show her the office of the president, then automatically it means that nobody will pick another daughter. So I want to plead with politicians, give my 4 children a chance. Do not take the action of one person and punish others. My religion and the Bible are forbidden that the sins of the father will no longer be visited on the children. So please, we still have so confidence in our female folk. In this 10th assembly of the Senate, we have only 4 women, and the 4 of them are all committee chairmen, intentionally, in order to give a voice to women in the parliament. So I thank you for this vote of confidence. I will not take it for granted, and I also have confidence in you and your ability to continue to contribute your quota.
Did you hear that?
And they keep playing, and they think we are fools. Somebody has a petition against you. You that is the accused. You want to preside over it, and you are telling you have an internal mechanism that is not working, that is bias. That is bias. I mean, what are these people playing us for? And some people gather them to the same people that broke the rules together. Do you know what? I read so many things. They said that some people did not even sign the petition, that they used their attendance to do and then they quickly come on board and began to say so many things, and they even suspended that more than
the required
duration.
Yes.
And the petition she brought in was received by the same person she accused. And everybody was as if, I mean, that's why I said that we have 2 constitutions in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of constitution. Like I keep saying thing, until Nigerians return back to where we missed it.
Where did we miss it?
The introductions of these civil rule, that is politics.
The introduction of politics?
The introduction of politics.
The introduction of politics?
Yes.
I don't understand.
What I mean by this is this. As at the time that these issues of emotional elections and selections of people did not come on board, that the white people are being appointed, voted into leadership positions, they honor the rule of the law. They ensure the right things are being done. They ensure they follow the order that give us the leading as to what to do, how to do it, when to do it.
You're saying that the politics should be on credentials and the authenticity of the personality and not on sentiments or bias.
That is actually what the civilized people do. Now, coming to talk about giving him a vote of confidence, somebody who is having an accusation of breaking what is ethical in the house is the same persons that are giving a vote of confidence. Who is doing us?
And then I want to make. I like the fact that the Senate President, His Excellency Senate President, Akpabio referred to America. I like that. He should go back to the same America and look at what happened to Clinton when Lewinsky came up allegations against him. You get it? See, he was almost impeached. He faced the House. You get it? At a point, he had to apologize not to America only, but to the whole world for denying it, for lying.
All right.
Do you remember that case? Even the case of this,
it was all over. It was obviously like a media trial.
Yes.
Everybody was watching it. I remember then. I think I was little, but I could recall.
If we say we're using the Americans as a standard,
it almost truncated his second tenure.
Yes, it was used against him. So why didn't Senator Godwin Akpabio why didn't he follow that? If he's looking at that this lady is
well, for them, they're basing on the technicalities. They're saying that Natasha is filing a sexual allegation petition when the House did not suspend her based on that petition. The House suspended her for disobeying Senate rules, which means the seat allocated to her, she did not go into it. She did not sit on the seat.
Why do they change the seat without informing her?
There were so many people have faulted this thing. That is not the way. You didn't inform her prior to the to the change of this. Even if you do it to your child at home, he said he has 4 daughters. They will protest. They will protest against him. Let me just say. Let me just say.
They can hear you.
Let me just say. Maybe the children went to school. When they came back from school, you have already changed their room. You get it. You have already moved their things to another room. And you now and as they wanted to enter the former room, you now told them, no, you are not going to. That's no more your room. Oh, we have changed your room. Do you think the children will not rebel? Do you think his children will not complain that no, daddy, that is not fair? You should have told us.
What they actually did to Senator Natasha is this. It's like somebody who has a seat and you're coming to sit, and somebody standing behind that seat, and in your attempt to sit down on that seat, and they pull it. So that's why I said the other day that these things were all planned.
Do you think it was premeditated?
Yes, it was premeditated. So they pull out the seat for Natasha to fall back. So what they did was actually wrong, and it is something that they should be ashamed of themselves. It is not anything that anybody will sit down on his head and begin to say, I want to appreciate you people for giving me a vote of thanks.
Okay.
It is not the civil.
What vote of? Why are they giving vote of thanks?
What are they thanking him for?
So are you telling me now that in our in Nigerian constitution, if somebody has an allegation of sexual harassment, you get it, the next thing they will do is to send to the police vote of confidence by his family, and the police will go and they take that and go and sit down. Is that the way it is run in Nigeria? Because that's why I said it's like we have 2 rules in Nigeria. We have 2 constitution. That's when you get it. That's what I'm looking at.
All right.
Because
okay, go ahead.
the same set of people who are saying that she broke the rule actually broke the same rule that they are talking about, and you are telling us is that what internal thing are they talking about? You have your internal rule that you yourself you are not following, and you are punishing somebody who didn't follow the same rule.
The same internal mechanism say that her petition was dead on arrival.
Interesting.
Openly, without even looking
into it.
You doesn't even submit it and write on it.
The internal mechanism accepted the petition she dropped before them.
At
they
least
never looked into it. So what are we saying?
All right. In a stunning turn of events, a powerful political revolution is set to begin before the end of March 2025 as Nigerians, frustrated by years of mismanagement under this administration and the ruling APC party, rise up in unprecedented unity. With widespread protests, civil disobedience, and a growing movement for political change, the streets of major cities are now filled with voices demanding accountability and a new direction for the country. Citizens from all walks of life are calling for an end to what they describe as a failure of governance, economic instability, and corruption under this current administration, in fact, under the All Progressives Congress. Political analysts like yourself are closely watching this riding tide of dissent, predicting a transformative shift in the country's political landscape that could reshape Nigeria's future. As this is gaining momentum, there are calls for reform and the ousting of the APC government. As you can see, defections are taking place, measures are being called for, and it's gaining support, all right? It's gaining support from within the nation and even from international observers. Nigerians and diaspora are clamoring that if there's going to be a positive merger, they would sponsor it. They do not mind. They're closely monitoring the situation. The world awaits to see how this will unfold and what changes may lie ahead for Africa's most populous nation. If you look at what transpired during the End Bad Governance protest in August last year and what transpired afterwards, do you think this kind of political revolution will actually take place? What I mean by political revolution, not necessarily going thronging on the streets and whatever. Some persons, those behind the scenes, those politically involved, some bureaucrats wanting to come together with all and sundry to see how they can form a strong force to possibly dissuade or not let this administration continue after, this 2027. But the All Progressives Congress and the president, they're very confident that they are not concerned. They seem not to be perturbed by the turn of events, by the political talks of coalition, or merging with strong political bureaucrats. They are confident that the president will be there till 2031.
I have a reservation for that. I don't agree. Because if they are confident, they will not arrest and charge underage children for treason. You get? They will not disrupt and limit them to one particular place. For the first time in our history, protesters have been limited by law to a certain place where they can protest, where nobody will really notice them. It's because they are afraid. That is why they are doing that. If they are not, they will have left everything normal and say, okay, well, we are not afraid. Go on street and do your protest. It will not count because we are doing very well. We are fantastic and we have the confidence of the people. But no, we are not seeing that. We are not. And let's do opinion poll. You get it? Let them do opinion. In America, that I like the way His Excellency, the Senate President, Godwin Akpabio, keep mentioning America. They keep doing opinion poll almost every week. They will do opinion poll, whether CNN, whether whatever. Even internationally, nationally, there are always opinion polls of the government. Even Zelensky in his country, when Trump made that statement that is like 5% or 15% of Ukrainians like him.
I want us to hurry so we can listen to the Jackson analysis, and we open the phone lines because we need to get reactions and then do, will I say, a soft pedal for today. Not everything is politics and Nigeria wahala. Today now Friday, I beg.
We are in Nigeria.
Okay, what's your reaction
when
to
you
that?
engage, when you were about engaging somebody in a fight,
Okay.
you have the right to boast of whatever you think you have.
Okay.
But you cannot actually say you will win the battle or the fight until you actually fight.
What if they already have all that is needed to ensure that it's a certainty in 2025?
Take it from me, or you might still make reference to this day. Whatever the present administration is banking on is using the state power against whosoever should be coming or is coming against them in the political race. So that's the reason why they say they are confident that they are not perturbed by anything that is happening. That's because they're going to use the power of the state, the resource of the state against any other political party that is coming to contend with the position of.
But if you say that the president is dependent on the fact that the constitution is basically what he's going to work with. He's dealing and working with the constitution. That's what the president has actually said.
Ideally, I have said it here that there is a wide gap, a wide margin between the ideal and the reality. In an ideal situations, these things that you just mentioned should come to be when that the electorate determine who emerges as the president, not the president begin to make boasts that come so I still remain till so time. It is not done. You wait until the time of election comes in. And I can tell you here now, the reason why we have people in leadership position in Nigeria that the people voted for by the electorate are not the people that assigned the positions. We've had a lot of issues on the media and people begin to say, no, this is not this, this is this. But the moment the umpire who is supposed to hand over the positions or the certificate of return to the right person now say it is not A again, it is Z, and you cannot contend with that person because the resources of the state in the judiciary is in the hand of the executive. The resources of the state in terms of security is in the hand of the executive, and as such these persons usurp these things together to their benefit, and that's the reason why they can make these boasts. But like I said before now, there's going to be a shocker. If Nigerians will close their eyes, close their everything to these injustice that is done to us, then we will know we are not ready for the change. The revolution you made mention about, revolution does not necessarily mean that people have to come outside and whatever.
True.
Now, it can be an ideological revolution.
Yes.
So when this thing comes to be, whatever we are experiencing now will become a zero and will become a history. It is my hope that shortly than they expected, that things will change and their eyes will open to the fact that it is not everything that money can make. People have a right to their choices to make.
Interesting. Thank you very much for that take. Now, Mr. Lawal Ekundayo, let's look at this young man, Sunday Jackson, 29-year-old. He's been in prison for more than 10 years. The first 7 years, there was no trial given to him. Nobody listened to his case. He was with an injured leg. He was imprisoned for 7 years. Now, the lower court and the Supreme Court said death by hanging for self-defense. A Fulani man came to his farm, stabbed him because he asked the man to leave his crops. This is basically what a lot of them do. They do their farming there in Adamawa State, and then this headsman terrorist invaded. He said, "Please leave," and the next thing they brought out a machete, a knife, stabbed the young man. The young man was able to fight off the guy, stab the guy too. Unfortunately, the terrorist died from that stab wound. And instead of the court to look at the situation of the court, considering the fact that the guy also got injured, both lower and higher court, the Supreme Court said death by hanging. What does that say about the judicial system and the heavy complaints about the supposed inconsistency, inadequacy, corruption, misplacement of judgment within our judicial system?
That's why I said in Nigeria we have two constitutions.
No, you keep saying that it's not about we have two constitutions. Help me make sense out of this.
That's what I'm saying, because
you attack me, I defend myself. You sentence me to hanging for defending myself, despite seeing evidence of injury on my case. In other words, if I had died, it means my death is for nothing. Help me make sense of that.
It has happened many times, and that's why I keep saying it has happened. How many Fulani headsmen that carry AK-47 all over the place? I said it earlier. Do they use it to kill grass cutter? You carry AK-47, you want to go to battle, so you must kill people. That's what it means. So this thing has been going on and on. This guy we are talking about is not the only person that is a victim. We are seeing where herdsmen kill people and nothing is done about it. It happened in Lagos here now. It happens along Badagry Expressway now. They killed the conductor and nothing happened.
These are all proofs of the fact that Nigeria is not working. If a common man, somebody comes to attack me, and I'm able to defend myself to the point the attacker goes down, I should be seen as a hero, not to be arrested, put in the prison, and sentenced to death by hanging. That shows that the judicial system is not the hope of the masses anymore.
Mr. Ola Emmanuel, when that verdict was given, there was a scream that, "Oh no, not again, Supreme Court." That was a sorrowful scream echoing from the Supreme Court as it upheld a death sentence by hanging, with the High Court in Yola earlier passed on Sunday Jackson in 2021. Yes. And it was a loud, heart-rending, spontaneous cry of gross miscarriage of justice by those who witnessed the judgment on May 7, 2025.
I said this before now, Esther.
Or March 7, rather, not May 7, on the 7th of March.
I've said this before, and I'll still say it again. A blind man does not threaten to stone you when he didn't match a pebble by his feet. So whatever you are seeing, the judgment that has been passed by whosoever, either from the lower court or by the Supreme Court, there are people who control this person. This is what you must say.
People are controlling the Supreme Court judge.
People in Nigeria are controlling the Supreme Court.
Which people in Nigeria? Are you talking about the bureaucrats?
I'm talking about the bureaucrats. The reason why I'm saying so is that how does it sound rational that I'm in my own farm doing my work and somebody came to push me off and attack me off my farm?
With a weapon,
that the government is not helping me with anything that will help me in the farm. And I was attacked. And I defended myself. Even if that person is not a Nigerian, the person who is the Supreme Court judge should be able to know that for this man to survive, we're supposed to give him kudos. And he didn't do that. The person now said, it means that this man must have been told that if you don't give this judgment like this, we take this food off your hand. And that's the reason why you see all these things happening. I told you all that this thing, even right now as I speak, if you take time to go to Oyo State, if you take time to go to Osun State, if you take time to go to Benue State, if you take time to go to Ogun State, every
Niger
day,
State.
Niger State, every day in Gumalukugumen, people die for these headsmen attacking the
In fact, in Benue State, they are saying they are facing an existential crisis.
Yes.
That's what they are going through.
It's a truth.
People are talking about, they are talking about the fact that they literally want to erase their existence. That's the fight in
And they take
Benue
over.
State.
You
The
read
fight
it?
to live.
Do you remember?
Thousands of people in Goma local government, thousands of people from Kwande are no longer in their house, at least for like 5, 6, 7 years. Why? Because this herdsman comes every day to attack the people. And when you need to go to Api General Hospital, the Frederick Medical Center, Api. You need to go to the General Hospital in all these places and see people. There are no beds accommodating these persons being attacked again. And you cannot do anything because somebody is behind this happening.
What is
I remember what the former president said when he said, go and give them land. You remember that statement?
Yes. Yes. The
They were
former
complaining that they were
president said so.
attacking them in their houses. Fulani herdsmen are attacking them. And the next thing the president said was that, go and give them land.
The thing is,
Give them land of their own.
let's set the record straight. It must be pointed out that for a capital punishment offense that ought to have been tried within 1 week, where the defendant had owned up straight off that the assailant died from their fray, that is from the fight, Jackson was kept in custody for 6 years before the trial started. Secondly, it has to be mentioned that in violation of the law, this judgment was delivered well after the statutory 90 days, within which judgments must be delivered after the adoption of the final address by lawyers to both parties. What this means is that this judgment ought not to stand at all under normal circumstances.
That's what common Nigerians face every day. That's what fails.
Now, Nigerians were of the note that, the Supreme Court had to have used this golden opportunity, use this case at least, to redeem itself
And correct
from some extent of growing public perception of a court of prejudice and compromise rooted in transaction. But it bungled it in a big way because the court spent 5 minutes reading its judgment, and rather than call out the horrible legal breaches around the case, because the legal practitioner that was representing the boy in the first place did not go about it well. There were so many loopholes. And instead of doing that, you handed down an egregious travesty in place of substantial justice.
That is why.
What is going on? So in this country now to exist, if you do not have connection, you don't know anybody in any of the armed forces or security, whatever. You don't have any top judicial officer. If you don't have any, and if you don't have money, the means to buy your way out, you're gone. The system created to what? To protect a few.
And in Nigeria, normally the law protects the accused more than the complainant. You know that, because that's why they said you are not. You
it's
are
not making sense to me. There is a Yahaya Bello. There is an El-Rufai going through court cases. We have a lot
What
of
about the one in Lagos that just happened?
Politicians, exactly.
Somebody
And you're not seeing the institution drop the gavel on them.
I told us here on this radio station that these things are happening as a distraction. They'll bring up an issue and make Nigerians begin to focus on those things so that you won't think about what they ought to do and they should be questioned.
A couple of persons have said this is because of the geographical location of where that's ruling held. The Supreme Court that did this judgment.
Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court that is federal. That before you get to Supreme Court, do you know how many appeals you must have done before you get? And we believe that
No,
that's the highest.
possibly the judge who handed down the gavel, the Supreme Court judge who handed down, maybe from a particular geographical location.
That's what we're saying. Maybe that means it's bias.
Why do they in the judiciary? Why do they blindfold the person who is the judge? Normal is for you not to be biased. Even if these persons happen to be another person, the right thing has to be done. That judge in that Supreme Court, may God help that person. The Sunday in question may not have anything to say. He may go and face the death penalty or whatever, but there is a God in heaven that watches.
Do you know that the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee has approved sanctions on Nigeria over the widespread killing of Christians and religious violence? The United States House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa has given President Donald Trump the green light to impose stringent sanctions on Nigeria in response to the widespread killing of Christians in the country. The decision followed a congressional hearing on Wednesday, during which lawmakers condemned the Nigerian government government for failing to protect Christian communities from escalating violence. The committee also cited a 2024 report by the Observatory for Religious Freedom in Africa, which revealed that Nigerians accounted for 90% of all Christians killed worldwide each year. The federal government has come out to tell the subcommittee that that story is false and it's not true. That they protect Christians, that there's no target against Christians, that the Nigeria is a peaceful and welcome place for all and sundry practicing their different religion.
Can I ask a question? The person who made that statement on behalf of Nigeria, can you call his name or her name? It will interest you when you look deep down. You see, these things are, to some of us, we've been experiencing this level of injustice in many places. You understand what I'm saying now? We know the right thing to do, but Nigerians will never allow you to do it. Like you have said before, except you have somebody connected to the judiciary, somebody connected to the security, somebody connected to the executive. A time is coming that they will see a handsome man like me walking on the street, and one of the politicians will look, this guy is handsome, I want to buy his life. And if God would have become a Nigerian, he would have collected bribe, and one of the politicians would have removed my life and add to it. So that is the way the place we're going. That's why I said a couple of weeks ago that we are the state of anomy, where there is lawlessness in the highest order. Since I was giving birth to, this is the regime I have seen that things are not done orderly.
Well, some Nigerians have different perceptions to what the U.S. Congress subcommittee is saying. Some are saying that they are against the killings across Nigeria, obviously, from different armed groups. If you go to different regions, they are suffering from one armed group or one militia or the other. For example, you go to Southeast, they are going through their own situation. You go to Benue, they are going through their own situation. You go to Niger Delta, they're going through their own situation. They're saying if you go to all those places, there are reports of killings, rampage and all from different groups, nothing necessarily on religion, but that the persecution of Christians in Nigeria or people from different religions are dying every day. So it's not necessarily just Christians. That's what a couple of persons are saying. Other persons are saying that regardless of what is going on, it's politics that is at play. But this is not being addressed. You don't consider this a national security, something of national concern. Now, the president is trying to redeem himself. We heard that he got a particular group of persons in Philadelphia, a team, to clear his name, the whole drug trafficking, whatever, and everything ascribed to him that is criminal or portrays him in negativity. You would have expected that he will be strict with measures like this, strict with ensuring that security is adequate and provided. Nigerians are seeing the outcome of, the accelerated process of clearing out these terrorists. That's one. Two, corruption in certain places, cleansing of corruption and bias in our judicial system. And the fact that you hold the stick for both sides, not drop the stick for one and then hold the stick for another. At least if you want to do that aspect of redeeming, let's see this evidences. Let's see this truth. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Now, the president cannot be everywhere, but you can give a mandate that all sectors of concern, our judiciary, the armed forces, the security, all these angles are sanitized, and any individual who is behind any of this should be dealt with as soon as possible. In fact, we need to see an accelerated form of laws enacted on these individuals. We're not seeing any of them. You're seeing them reintegrate terrorists. They're reintegrating persons who ought not to be
serial killers. Serial killers have been reintegrated.
Who will enact the law? Now, the Supreme Court judge, at least for the first time, will have been able to redeem. He has the chance to redeem the injustice and the decay in the judiciary. Now, see what has happened. So, if you look at the way things happen in Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see. Take it or you leave it. People who are in leadership positions were selected, doctored, and wired to do and say things that will applaud the current administrations. You will not be allowed to say anything contrary. If you do, like I keep saying, most of the time when we come here, most of our analysis, those who are not comfortable with, will begin to say, now, who are these persons who are analyzing and begin to say this is
Mr.
this?
Ola Emmanuel,
yes.
Let's agree that the US is also a culprit. They are part of the destabilization going on in certain African countries. They come there, create chaos, come and then be like negotiators to resolve the problem. take our resources and stay behind. Let's agree that the US themselves.
I'm not agreeing to that.
I'm just saying, let's agree. History has it.
It's possible.
It's not that it's possible. It is it. It is not that it is possible. The mining sites in Nasarawa, who are the people enabling it? Most of the mining sites that you have some
China.
expatriates and Chinese, who are the people? And who are the persons that get those to protect? Who are the persons that ensure that those communities are volatile? People cannot access those areas where the mining is taking place for certain reasons. We will understand how this is international politics. But let's agree that the US is the chief of such international politics. They know how to create a problem, infiltrate that area, do what after creating the chaos, they take what they want to take and then they go. So you may say that they are not at the right place to call this call of sanctions or whatever, but let's be realistic. Let's be realistic with what is on ground. We saw what transpired in Kaduna State under the former governor El Rufai. We even heard him make utterances when he was leaving the office at the time. These are part of the things that make a lot of Nigerians not to like him, even if he thinks he has some like following. So the truth is, how do we get ourselves out of this quagmire? Are Nigerians sitting ducks on a keg of gunpowder? It's the basic question.
Getting ourselves out of this. You see, there is no time we will not have this issue happening, but the way these things are going, if the Americans are true to themselves, like the statement you made, now let's assume that they are behind this. The thing is that they need to balance this whole thing. But coming to look at it, that they're saying that if Nigeria did not do this, that there's going to be a sanction, let them put a sanction and see how it works. I have told people several times, that no matter how strong a leaf is, it cannot outswim a fish in the river. The system of things in Nigeria is such that nothing comes from up to overturn things, except those people who are dictating the pace for how Nigeria thinks administration should be done. Now, if you look at if the Americans sanction Nigeria, are they actually sanction Nigeria in true terms? Or is it that it's just like a kind of, don't worry, let me do this so that I can do this?
They said they have evidence and they have witnesses.
Right. So if they have evidences and witnesses, they don't need to announce it to the world. If that is what the law said, let them go ahead. If it's contrary to what international law is, and a member state has broken that law, then they can go ahead and say, based on section this and section this, this is it, and as such, we are doing this. Let them go ahead, and there's no need for them announcing it. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because the truth is this, that every of the crises happening, let's not take it too back, from 2011 till today, have you seen any attempt by any administrations that we can say this administration has handled this aspect of the challenge Nigeria is facing, and then the next one comes in, now that we've been able to handle this, let's take the next one. Rather, these things are growing every day. Corruption is developing wings every day. Security issues is on the fore every time. Now harassment of women is every parastatals in Nigeria. I don't want to call names of parastatals. So these things continue now. If there is no way on trying to handling this now, where are we going? And the only way we can have this is when Nigerians keep talking. We will not.
That's what we're doing. That's what we do right here on VOP. We keep talking. People complain, we're lamenting. So we need to bring this to the fore.
It will get to a point they will mistakenly pick up somebody that they will think will work for them and will work for the masses.
Interesting.
To be able to make the voice of the masses
be heard.
Please.
Thank you, Mr.
Please, I want you to help me or help just, appeal to the state governor of Adamawa to look look into this case. This similar thing happened. It may not be as hard as this one, but it happened in Osun. I saw what Adeleke did.
Yes,
he came on board.
Killed over chicken.
Yes, he came up, took up the case, saw that it was and then it intervened.
Yes.
So we are appealing. I'm begging you to appeal to him.
You're already doing that.
You're doing that.
The
Please,
governor of Adamawa
look
State,
into this
Amadi
case.
Siri,
Look into this case.
grant him pardon. You can't
can't
sentence
kill
someone by
somebody
hanging for defending himself. After suffering, even
after 6 years of incarcerations in the jail.
7 years.
7 solid years suffering for nothing. He would have been killed.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
If he had been killed, this case would not. There will be no case.
There will be no case.
The Fulani.
Yes, we just continue. It's normal. They will continue destroying other people's farms.
The fellow destroyers and attackers take the case, and one person accepts it. Nobody could tell these Fulanis or whosoever they are that is attacking and say, no, this is wrong.
No,
you go to somebody's farm, you attack the person, and then you are still taking the person to the court, and they still look into it and dump the person in prison.
I'm telling you.
That is fundamentally against the right of that Sunday.
All right, let's take some calls. I said that today is Friday. To be honest, I don't want us to complete today with Nigeria Wahala. Because even me, my head is doing woo. Wahala opo. All right, let's get your reaction. It's the People's Radio Station. The number is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-175-338. Hello, good evening. How are you, sir?
Good evening, ma.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Michael.
Michael, please, what's your location, sir?
I'm from Ikotu.
From Ikotu, Michael. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Listen to your guest, so.
Hello?
Hello, ma. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, what did you say?
I said greeting to your guest.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please, man, you see what is happening in Nigerian judiciary. In as much as Supreme Court, our judiciary their salary has been increased to 30% and giving them houses in Abuja. There's nothing you can do in judiciary that will get right. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to say?
No.
Okay. You're free to go. You want to go? You want to leave us here?
Have a
080-3692-9933. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine.
All right. So what's your name and location, please?
I do from Ojota.
All right, you do. Please go ahead.
You can see our judiciary now. Since this APC government came into power in 2015, you can see that they gave also Uzodimma number 4 to be governor of Anambra, Imo.
Okay.
This current Senate president, they support, and the Lawal, the former president, he support not to be at Senate. Look what the Supreme Court did. All the Kalu has already been sentenced. Look what they did to him. Look at this poor man now. Where are the people from that area? Where is the chairman of the local government, House of Assembly, House of Reps, Senator, the chairman, the governor, and the NBA in that place, and the national NBA? What are they doing? They are destroying Nigeria. They are not destroying anybody. They are destroying themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you for calling. All right. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
My name is Samson.
Samson. What's your location, please, Samson?
Satellite.
Sir?
Satellite town.
Satellite Town. All right, Samson. Please go ahead.
See, the only problem we're having in this country is judiciary. The day Nigeria gets it right, this country will work well back. They are the problem we're having in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, the number to call is 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. You're currently listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku, and obviously my analyst this evening, Mr. Ola Emmanuel and Lawal Ikundayo. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Samson. I'm coming from.
Your name is Samson again?
Johnson.
Johnson. Okay, location please, Johnson.
From Ajawa State here.
All right, Johnson, please go ahead.
Please, I'm just begging for the man who has defended himself. And they don't know where they are going. And let the governor intervene on this man because his farmer died.
All right, thank you. Your network is not really clear though, but I think I get the full gist. Yes.
The governor to appeal to ensure
okay.
that he saved the life of that young man.
080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, what's your name? Good evening.
My name is Alfred Go. I'm calling from Greenfield Estate.
Alfredo.
Alfred Go on.
Alfred, go on. All right, please go ahead, Alfred, go on.
Yeah, the problem of this country is that we should love ourselves. What I'm seeing people are doing is that this government that they are doing that they don't even have anything to offer us. So only what they are doing is that they don't want to separate us and they keep us as if we don't know what we're doing. But what I'm advising the leaders is that they should do the right thing. That's what I have.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. 08036929933. That's the number. 08036929933. The WhatsApp number is 0817175638. That's the WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
Good evening. This is Kenneth calling from Mushin.
Calling from?
Mushin.
All right. Ekene, please go ahead.
I'm greeting your guests. What they are saying, I really enjoy it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
don't let me lie to you. There's a caller that I've already called that the problem we are having that maybe is I believe that is judiciary. I know can judiciary. There's nothing we can do even if they even do election. If they do election, they rig it. Then the INEC people, they are the one making that rig to work. If assume INEC can be sincere and judiciary can be sincere, Nigeria will select the people that they want. But with them collecting bribes from all these politicians, there's nothing that will move forward in Nigeria. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate your input. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, ma. What's your name, ma?
My name Ife Oluwa.
Ife Oluwa, where is your location, please?
From Isolo.
All right, ma. Go ahead.
Yes, Esther, please. We, the Nigerian citizens, are pleading with the government that they should please spare the life of that young man. They shouldn't sentence him by hanging, please.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's a plea. The international community are talking about it. Human rights organization, they're pleading. Some Adamawa state residents are asking the governor to please intercede on Sunday Jackson's behalf. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you? What's your name?
Yeah, this is Cowdy calling from mainland.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you see, the problem with this judgment that they have given to this poor man is because our judicial is faulty. If it's not faulty, how can they sentence somebody that is doing self-defense? In fact,
they're saying that he should have run away. He shouldn't have defended himself.
Why?
Remember that he was stabbed on the leg.
Now, if he tried to run away and the attacker now killed him, what happened?
Wrong. What the judge has done is very, very wrong. So the system is faulty already, and that is why we are facing this kind of mess. And we have become a laughingstock in the Western world. Well, they should continue. But I know one day, God will come to our rescue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you for calling. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, are you?
I'm fine, sir. What's your name?
My name is John. I'm calling from Mamuodo.
All right, John, please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, the system of Nigeria is corrupt and nobody is talking about anything. Even if one thing I understand about Nigeria is say the truth and die.
Jeez. That's gotten so bad.
That is just the fact. Say the truth and die. How can someone in self-defense, you defend yourself, then at the end of the day you be sentenced? That is a corrupt system. Everyone knows the truth, but say the truth and die. Thank you.
Thank you. I like to just call straight to the point. They just say what they want to say and go. That's good. 08036929933. That's the number. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. Turn it down completely.
I'm fine.
Yes, what's your name, sir? Yes, I can hear you. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Oyewole.
All right, Oyewole, what's your location, sir?
From Ikeja.
All right, sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, please, I just pray for our judiciary to
Hello?
So, and God will help us too. Concerning Adama Labour Party,
Yes.
the man is just coming to come and deceive Peter Obi's second time. That is what they have been doing. Him and Apapa. That is what they have been doing. And I pray to God that he will not agree with them. They are green straight under the green grass. So that is the way I see two of them. They are betrayers. He should not come and fall for their
antics
deceit the second time.
All right, thank you.
He should be watchful.
Thank you very
It's
much.
Not they are not the good fans at all.
All right,
God
thank
bless
you.
the voice of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. It's voice of the people, but thank you.
Voice of the people.
Thank you. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. That's the number. Hello, good evening. How are you? Turn down the volume of your radio, please. It's important that you do so. Hello. Hello. Please call back. Turn down the volume of your radio. It can be quite disconcerting. All right, the number to call is 080-3692-9933. My name is Esther Wachko. You're currently listening to the Evening Rush on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Hello, good evening. Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you? Thank you. I am fine, man. Thank God it's Friday.
You go and phone for the weekend.
That's true.
You're very busy and the Lord is such friend. You look in the name of Jesus Christ. This sorry, I don't know if what I'm saying is acceptable.
You're really skipping, though. Grandma, you're really skipping. Like you're breaking seriously. Can you call back? Can you call and call back, please? All right. Hello, good evening. How are you, Remy?
Esther!
Remy, how are you?
Blessed are you among women.
Thank you very much, Remy.
And good evening to your fantastic analysts. I'll go straight to the point.
Okay.
You see, the elite class are so arrogant, right? And they disrespect all of us like nothing will happen. The judiciary know deep down their hearts that they do not have public trust. They are not even doing enough to buy that trust. But one thing I want to remind them is this. Civilization evolves and revolves. What goes around comes around. Go and study the history of revolution in Russia. Every powerful people that have passed this planet here got consumed by their own arrogance when they fail to listen
to the people.
The cry of their people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Remy. Thank you. Very apt. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
I'm Mr. from Ijegun.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
What I have to contribute is that one of the solution to all these crises is that let us review our electoral law.
Okay.
A situation whereby a result can only be announced when it has been transmitted through the device, not a situation of writing result with a sheet of paper where you don't even know where the result is connected. Our electoral law should be reviewed to enable us to overcome all these challenges so that the person that you voted for in the election, will be announced as a winner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Like I said, I'm loving this evening. I love the way you guys are going straight to the point. It's fantastic. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, sir?
Okay, calling from Ogun State.
Wow, okay. How is Ogun State this evening?
Fine.
All right, please go ahead.
I remember the day you asked us where we should project where Jandon is going to.
Okay. Hello?
Jandon, where he's going to.
Okay, Jandon. Okay, all right.
I thought he was going for the broom. I was met with our only seller today. So, anyway, Labour demand us about Labour Party.
Yes.
They have paid up front.
They paid up front?
Yeah, they have collected the money for 2027. So people, this is very careful.
Okay.
Any party, if they want to wrestle power from the ruling power party, they only have two people allotted for that day. If you have anything more than two political parties, forget about it.
All right. Okay.
So it's better they come under one umbrella and choose the right person.
Okay.
To present. So anything about it, they don't do that, forget about it.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I am fine, thank you. What's your name, sir?
You are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
My name is Mayor from Festac.
Mayor from Festac. How is Festac this evening?
Thank God.
All right,
Thank
sir.
God.
Please go ahead.
You see, I want to comment on what he played that soundbite by Akpoti.
Okay.
I heard when he said that Natasha was there, maybe trying to put Nigeria or maybe
to embarrass the nation and the
nation.
Senate, the National Assembly.
Agbambio, if he has any act of integrity, he should know that he and his colleagues are the people embarrassing our nation. Right from the way he emerged as a PDP presidential candidate, that he never contested for primary. In all his utterances since he became the Senate president, very shameful utterances up to this sexual embarrassing and whatever. And he forgot that when he was in I think that should be 9th Senate or thereabouts, the 8th Senate, headed by Saraki. There was a time Saraki was accused of maybe some corrupted practices, if you remember, when they said he bought some security jeeps or whatever for himself. And when there was the investigation, Saraki had to step down. And his deputy, then I think...
presided over, yes.
Good. Why won't Akpabio learn from if he has integrity?
No, power now is different. So it's grab it, snatch it, stay on it.
Yes, it is himself and the judiciary that are representing Nigeria black. The judiciary is, I don't know the word to qualify it. It's so shameful and disgraceful, the type of judgment that, look at what is happening in Rivers State. Everywhere, judiciary. So I will call on Nigerians, we must reclaim back our country. And we must face judiciary, INEC, and police. That is where. That is how every Nigerian should come out to 27 armed. Face judiciary, police, right from the electoral reform. They must reform that electoral act. They must do it National Assembly or Nigeria, whatever they see. Because enough of this, the people are suffering, people are dying.
It's too much.
It's too much. You see, there was a convoy I saw online. When I started to visit the Akpaya, homestead Akpaya State. If you see the rating of vehicles, outline that in a country that people are dying of hunger, one person is fetching that kind of work. So I think Nigerians should get up and reclaim back our country. We should wait for them. If they want to snatch a grab, the person that wants to grab, we will wait for him and use him, beat the person with the bag, and collect back that mandate. Enough of this rubbish.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a pleasure. Well done.
Thank you. You see, you saw where the president said he's happy with the Senate president. He's a good man. So, hello, good evening. How are you?
Hi, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, sir?
I'm Edward calling from Sango.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Number one, in gathering all this analysis, you people are doing a very great job. Continue.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Coming to the point of Obi, being in position of Labour and
PDP.
Please, it's good like that because Obi is a good market.
Okay.
So let Labour, if really Labour wants him, let Labour work hard to put him here.
Okay.
Then Obi also should be very wise to know where they want to destroy him.
All right.
So then another thing is, this is INEC. If they fail to do reforms on the electoral election, Nigerians will not take anything like judiciary or court order. Nigeria in mass, because when they play rough play, they push it to the court for analyze. This time around, our voice is counting very hard. Let them do the necessary thing early before election. Then after the result, if the result is not what the people who the people voted, Nigeria will not take it to. Talk less of going to the judiciary. We cannot get it. Take it.
All right. Thank you.
Let them do the necessary thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, Jovo. Good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Happy Friday.
I greet you. The same to you, Esther. How is work going?
We're fine. We're okay.
I'd like to know the name of our guest because I don't think I started.
Ellie with us.
Mr. Who?
Ola Emmanuel.
Mr. Ola Emmanuel.
And
good evening,
Mr.
sir.
Lawal Ekundare, but Mr. Lawal Ekundare has somewhere to be, so he's left.
Mr. Lawal Ekundare, wherever you are, you're hearing my voice. I greet you very much, sir. Good evening.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, Mr. Ola Ekundare, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ola Emmanuel. His name is Ola Emmanuel, yes.
The other one is
Lawal Ekundare, yes.
Mr. Ola Emmanuel, that boy they want to sentence in Adamawa State. The problem is that he defended himself, right?
Yes, that's a problem.
So somebody wanted to kill him, and in defending himself, he successfully killed the person, right?
Yes.
Thank God. So for that reason, they want to sentence him to death. So what they are telling us now is that don't defend yourself when they want to kill you.
That's it.
Just make sure that they did not kill you. Dodge,
run. Yes, exactly. In fact, that was what the Supreme Court judge said.
That was what the judge said. That he has a chance
to run away.
And why didn't he run? Why did he
run away?
Back? Why did he attack back? I wonder what
even in cartoon movie, that thing is never possible. And somebody wants to kill you. Did you know that if the person is raising something to hit his enemy, God forbid, and now you stretch your hand to block that thing, and the thing bounces back and kills the person. So what the judge is telling us is that when they want to kill you, just run, keep running, run till. This is very funny. Is it not funny that our judiciary is not getting things right?
That's it.
Judiciary looks like the main problem that we have in this country. I don't want to start talking about the type of judgment they have been passing.
Oh, Jesus.
If you look at the judgment they've been rendering in this country, is that where we want to start from? Where somebody like Yabelo is running up and down freely
walking boldly,
and this boy wants to die. Hey, judiciary!
They had stabbed the boy. They had actually stabbed him.
Yes, he knows.
You can imagine.
Yes, the man stabbed him. Now the Fulani terrorist stabbed him on the leg and somewhere at the back, close to the neck.
That was not enough. They took him to the prison.
Is this not to show that this country is for some people and not for some people again? This judge that anyway, I don't want to commit any content. What I'm saying is that judiciary, they need to purge themselves.
Who will purge them
Chief Justice of the Federation today, the Chief Justice is the one who rendered judgment in Imo State that brought Hope Uzodimma number 4 becoming number 1, and the mathematics was not correct and is never correct today. Because the vote that was credited to Hope Uzodimma that made him the governor then, there was no vote left for the other people that contested in that election. People can go back and check it. That you credited him with all the votes. It means that only him contested for the election, only him won the election. Nobody voted against him in Imo State. Very terrible mathematics.
Indeed. Thank you very much,
Esther. You mentioned step down. I don't know if you're coming with step down.
I'm coming with step down very soon. All right, I'm coming
let
with
me wait
step down.
for step down.
So, apologies. I'm going to just take like 3 messages. So we head into step down because we have some adverts to play. So let me take some messages. Good evening, Esther. I'm listening from Ushudi. The radio signal is still very faint and poor here. Sorry. And for Akpabio, evidence or no evidence, my advice for him is to be very careful on how he handles a sexual allegation by Senator Natasha. Good evening. Oh, God. Esther Wachiku, Ola Emmanuel, Mr. Lawal Ekundaya, and VOP family, please let the death penalty on the Adamawa farmers so that the pressure will prevail on Nigerians. Authority, okay, there will be private. I don't understand this. Please resend this right up, all right? I don't understand what you wrote here. Right, legibly. So your station's output is seriously being distorted. One can hardly hear you guys. We're doing something about it. Please, thank you. I see your complaints are on that. Good evening, Esther Wachko. I greet your guests in the house. My name is Gabriel from Ikorodu. Talking about Labour Party and its leadership, they haven't shown enough sagacity and maturity to have a person of Mr. Peter Obi's caliber as a presidential candidate. Mr. Obi should be very cautious and never allow himself to be carried away by their words. I listened to the interview granted by Mr. Arabambi. There is what Igbos called leading one out on a path of a journey and putting off the light in the middle of the journey. That's what I am perceiving that they will do to him again. However, Labour Party to me remains a party which I believe that can afford Mr. Obi the needed ground and support he needs to unleash all his reforms and fight corruption. But we must beware with all those who worked against him during the last presidential election. Thank you very much. Okay, Esther, I bet you probably will surely send prayers to his fellow senators' accounts secretly. Oyinkachi Machiku from Ajao Estates. Somebody says, it was Femi Additional that said we should give Fulani killers our ancestral lands if you want to leave. And Buhari said Nigerians should accommodate Fulani killers because they are our brothers, and Fulani terrorists should stop killing and kidnapping Nigerians, and enough is enough. Leo from Lagos. All right, Leo, thank you. Good evening, VOP and the guests in the house. I think judgment concern Rivers State shows that there are people that control judiciary and tell them what to judge. Wike is a lawyer, white Justice Tinubu president. Those that decamped, Supreme Court said they did not decamp. Is that a true judge? Sunny from Maryland. He also said the network. Oh, we're so sorry about that. It's being worked on. Good evening, Esther and your guest. The manner at which judges make different pronouncements of some cases in different courts is, to say the least, a deep regret. All right. The fundamental principles and beauty of democracy is the rule of law. Nigerians should speak in one voice, compelling our legislators to declare a state of emergency for the amendment of our electoral law, because the manners at which our politicians use judicial officers as stooges for their political victory is gradually moving Nigeria to a state of anarchy. Also, independent candidates should be entrenched in our constitution. Good evening, Esther. Nigerian citizens are in danger, especially to their political leaders. From executive, judiciary to the legislature, all have ganged up against us. Our offense is our continuous silence. We must wake up. Good evening, Esther, and our honorable guest in the house. All you guys are doing great work, and I love you all. And Babi G from Oshodi saying happy weekend to you all. Esther, the queen of VOP, please, I am sorry I undermined. Okay, I'm sorry I undermined and underestimated your good capacity at first, but now I know that you are more proof than those we thought are better. Wow, please, you people should help Nigerians tell our government, court and judges that the man that defended himself from being killed by Fulani headsmen mustn't die. Again, it's a pity that Tinubu can't order Wike to let Governor Fuba and Rivers people be because he's a basket mouth. All right, thank you, Babi G, for your compliment. Well, do not judge a book by its cover, they always say. Good evening, Esther Wachiku and guest Ima from Shasha Akunwajo. President Tinubu and his cohorts are working hard to destabilize this country, but Nigerian Bar Association and Nigerian Union of Journalists needs to wake up and save the nation from total collapse. Nigerian Union of Journalists member, we are doing that, or we are doing our work, because. Good evening, Esther and your guest. From the Supreme Court judgment against Mr. Jackson, this is totally unaccepted. Does it mean that if armed robbers invaded my home and I managed to overpower him and get him killed with his own gun, then Nigerian law will be after me? There's nothing we won't hear in this country, especially in the northern part. I greet you all in the house. I want to ask, what is the integrity of our judges or judiciary in the eyes of the world? Do they have a heart of flesh or stone? It's like the country has been jinxed. I pray and wish Nigerians get their freedom soon. Esther, good evening, and your guest. You see, the funny thing about this case is that first you trespass on someone's place and then you go ahead to attempt to kill him. This is two crimes. Oh, now he defended himself like everyone would when faced with same situation. Now you want to hang him. Sometimes the way we do things in Nigeria is just somehow. We should really start using juries for cases in court. Dr. Dave from VI. Thank you, Dr. Dave. Please, Esther, I need the link to this night's program. Also, that boy shouldn't be sentenced to death. It was said that he should have run away, right? If at an attempt to run away and he's killed, then what happens? Please, Esther, answer the question. Prince Majek Femiolu Majakudumi from mainland. All right, Prince. Good evening, Esther Machuku, Ola Emmanuel, Mr. Lama Ekundayo, and VP family. Please let the death penalty on the Adamawa farmer continue to be protested so that pressure will prevail on Nigerian authorities not to kill that man who just defended himself. Politicians are aware of what happened in 2023 presidential election, where INEC used network glitch to subdue the leadership revolution the masses yearn for. This is why most opposition politicians now want to align with Peter Obi to form a formidable force against the ruling party. May God save our land. Amici from Mafoluku. Thank you, Amici. God bless you. You sent that message again. All right. Thank you for doing that. Good evening, Esther. Your station is in low quality. It looks as if you're operating from Gaza or Ukraine. Work on it. In absence of rule of law, impunity will be order of the day. You can see that this government has turned this country to a gangster paradise by compromising all institutions, all right, for 2027 gain, especially cash and carry judiciary. You consider frivolous judgment of Rivers or Sean Kanu on Lagos. This is impunity and chaos is looming. How will there be peace without justice? For Akpabio, give vote of confidence by his rubber-stamped Senate. What do you expect? All right, Dara from Fagba, thank you very much. Good evening, Esther and your guest. The manner at which judges makes different pronouncement of the same case in different courts is to say the least a deep regret. The fundamental principles and beauty of democracy is the rule of law. Nigerians should speak in one voice, compelling our legislators to declare a state of emergency for the amendment of our electoral law, because the manners at which our politicians use judicial officers as stooges for their political victory is gradually moving Nigeria to a state of anarchy. Also, independent candidacy should be entrenched in our constitution. Stephen Akimbisola from Ijegun, Lagos. All right, so let's head on to a step down, and I do hope that you're able to call and respond in that. I'll be very fast as possible, but I really need your response to this, okay? So again, this is it. My wife runs a big shop while I manage to go by with some small jobs, okay? I am 44 years old, and my wife has a lot more money than I do, but I try my best to keep her and our kids comfortable. Recently, my wife has refused to continue handling our family responsibilities just because I married my pregnant side chick. I want to sue her for this. My wife owns a big shop. I managed to get by with small jobs. We usually share the bills. She pays a rent of 150,000, electricity, water, school for the kids, and healthcare. I take care of the cooking, cleaning, and food stuff in the house. One day, just like any man, I started seeing a young woman who is 22 years old, and she got pregnant. As a good Christian, I didn't want to ask her for a divorce, and I couldn't have a child without being married. So I decided to tell my wife the truth. I told her I wanted to take the young woman as a second wife. At first, she refused, but after I insisted a lot, she finally said I should go. I should go ahead. I said, okay, no problem. Then, to continue in that, after we did, the matter became worse. Questions were being asked as to why I wanted to marry this woman as my second wife. What made me change my mind? I changed my mind because she was very beautiful, and I experienced a new kind of feeling with this woman. She gave me some sort of peace of mind that I have been clamoring for a very long time. I do not know what to do because I'm 44 years of age. There have been several talks about my attitude and the reason why I decided to go with this, but I am of a concern that this is important to me. So, I used my little savings to pay the bride price. A few months later, I got married to this young lady. But since my second wife came to live with me, or live with us, my first wife changed completely. I feel like she has betrayed me. She won't pay for anything anymore. She says if I had the courage to take another wife, I can take care of it all. For 2 months, I paid for everything, but now I can't keep up. It has been 3 months since I couldn't pay the rent. I have run out of money, and my second wife does not work. I can't keep up with her needs, and I'm scared she will cheat on me by talking to her ex-boyfriend. I have begged my first wife to help pay the rent because the landlord is threatening to kick us out. She says if we get thrown out, she will rent a place with our 4 children, excluding me. I told her that we will follow her anywhere because we are bonded by sacred marriage. She is already trying to keep the kids away from me. She looks after the children and doesn't pay attention to me. She eats good food with the kids and does not invite me. My second wife's uncle works at the courts. She told me we should file a complaint against my first wife for abandonment and negligence. She will have to sign something and take care of her family responsibilities. Should I do this? Please help me. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, how would you describe this man? Mr. Ola, please, in a few seconds, how would you describe this man on this pleasurable hunt?
I think the man didn't know what he wanted.
He doesn't know what he wants? The wife was taking care of responsibility. You saw a 22-year-old girl. She was pregnant. You liked her. She was beautiful. You said she gave you peace of mind. She made you feel a certain way that you stop feeling towards your wife. And your wife takes majority of the burden in the house. Then you got small savings. Married the woman. She gave birth. You were feeding her, right? And then your first wife changed. She stopped feeding you. She was concentrating on her and her own children. You started complaining. You start complaining that she has abandoned you because you are bonded by sacred marriage. Then beyond that, the woman, landlord, their house rent expired. The woman said she would go and rent another place and move on with her 4 children. She would definitely exclude him and the second wife, the young woman. He said, no, we're going to go and stay together. She said the woman eats good food and she doesn't feed him. That he's been complaining about it and nothing is being done. That what should people do about this?
It was the application that he wrote that the wife granted.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're going to be discussing on the step down. What would you say in this situation? I would implore you to please let me know. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. Okay. 08036929933. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir. What's your name?
This is Chike from Agpa.
Chike, how would you react to this man's complaints?
I am not married. I'm still a young guy, but at least I learned how marriage works from my mom and my dad. You see, that the man is sorry to use the word, foolish person. and I never know that you still have a good woman like that of a first wife. So the first wife will just leave that kind of person alone and move on with her life.
Okay. No,
quite unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, really. All right, 08036929933. The man said the second woman gives him some kind of pleasure.
If he was looking for a...
Hey, turn down the volume of your radio, Biko.
If he was looking a kind of somehow pleasure, he would have told the old wife, look, there's this kind of pleasure I'm looking for.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, good evening. What's your name?
My name is Don. I'm calling from Hamuodo.
All right, Don. How would you react to this situation if you are the man? What advice would you give him?
Nah, the man should face his cross. So.
Are you serious?
This one, the man did for water soap and time eye. Seriously, if not pleasure and feelings, you want job, go ahead. Like you should go ahead and be satisfied.
I thought he was going to complain that the old wife was not loving him.
He said she changed, that she stopped giving him food.
So what else was he looking for? Now what he's looking for now, he didn't stand up to the responsibility.
I don't know, and all the positions that the new wife was going to give him, and when he did not have the money to
he should thank God that the old wife is still taking care of the kids.
Have you? Hello, good evening.
My name is Jova. Mr. Ola Emmanuel, laugh for to kill me here.
I don't carry knife.
Wait, this must be a joke. Do you know why I said it's a joke?
Why?
How can somebody carrying somebody at the back? He decided to go and carry another person on his own back again. Yeah? Wait.
He didn't know what he wants.
I don't know.
So
his position
he
was
wanted
sitting
pleasure, right?
Yes, he wanted pleasure. He said she made him feel a certain way that he doesn't really feel with his wife.
The old wife could still give him.
Give you what? He said the girl gives me a special pleasure.
The old woman.
Esther, if I heard you very well.
Yeah.
He said the old wife takes care of herself, eats whatever she likes,
with
and
the
gives
kids,
the children,
yes,
but
with the
doesn't
4
give
kids.
him.
Yes, doesn't give him and the other woman.
If they give him now, he will go and give the other woman.
Naimo.
I will leave him with one problem. They say the new broom can sweep the house, but the old broom knows the corner of the house. So that is how I will leave him.
Okay.
He should better pick one.
Okay.
Enjoy pleasure and forget food.
Okay.
Or if not, return the new wife where you brought her from and then go back to the old wife. Very simple now.
Very simple.
Good night.
08036929933. Enjoyment is sweet. You want to enjoy, you don't have money to enjoy. Why? You want good things.
What is good thing?
Wait. I don't even have issues with the man wanting inside Chico. The issue is the fact that you expected your wife that was being the major benefactor of the home to continue with the new woman. And then you cannot continue to keep the new wife. All of you want to now be dependent. She has come and
why would you go for a side chick when the old wife has no problem
with you?
She gives you money.
He say that the feeling he has is different.
He has not pressed the
button.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Ben from Ejigbo.
Ben from Ejigbo. Please, how would you react to this?
In short, it's terrible. I don't know that there is this type of woman in Nigeria again. that you
Really?
have this soft mind.
Yeah.
If some people they go pour them acid, they go die. Yeah? How can you get a woman and this woman give you birth of 4 children in your house, and you are still looking outside? You get another woman again with pregnancy and with problem. Yeah? And you are still making this announcement in radio. In short, the woman is very peaceful woman. Is the angel. I give kudos for the woman, in short.
All right. Thank
yes.
you. So is it that this man expected people to blame the first wife for facing herself and her kids? Because I don't even understand why you're seeking advice. Because you're seeking advice.
You know, there are people who support polygamies and the rest of that, and this side chick stuff. The thing is that every rational person will score him -10, as in 10 down again.
Hello.
You have all the comfort from your wife.
Good evening, sir. How are you? Good evening.
I'm cool. I want to know. You see this issue. Hello.
I can hear you, sir. You didn't tell me your name.
I want to remain anonymous. I don't want to.
Your name, please.
I say he wants to remain anonymous.
Anonymous.
Continue.
Why I say this because issue now is a serious issue. Sometimes the man supposed to ask himself what he wants first, because even if you say by getting married to a lady, now maybe she did not give you a child, you will pet her and ask of moving ahead, maybe having another person or adopt. But he never do that. Now, why I'm saying this, I mean, I'm a kind of in the same shoe with him, but his own, he has a child. Then why?
Wait. You're in the same shoe with him?
But my own is, my wife never give me any issue.
Okay.
But I'm still petting her. To the extent, I went to her parents. Her parents was the first people bothering me to have another woman. Or yet, we discussed it when we meet her mother. She denied all we discussed together, that I can adopt for her and have myself another wife.
Okay.
But this one never do so. He's supposed. Why I'm saying this, for him to learn. The mistake has been done. Let him carry his cross.
All right, no problem.
This is life.
All right, thank you very much.
So let's not take it kind of joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see? I mean, he's going through an experience, but his own case is different. And they spoke, and he was like, okay, go ahead. If you have somebody, she can give birth for us and all of that stuff.
There are women that accept.
Yeah, accept that.
You discuss,
you agree to it.
You make sense. And the woman will take care of the new child, whatever, in such a way that you will not know.
That's the thing. There's an agreement. This one, there was no agreement. He said this side chick is making him feel good. Or feel really good.
He's feeling hungry now.
Feeling good. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Angesta.
Good evening, ma. What's your name?
My name is Faith. I'm calling for Ijeogun.
All right, Faith, please go ahead.
And good evening to your guest too.
Thank you.
Angesta, I've been calling you and been sending messages to you. You don't used to read my message.
Shy, Auntie Faith, I will not lie to you. All the messages here are anonymous. I have read as many messages as possible, so I'm so sorry if I didn't read yours.
Okay, Angesta, I actually called for a help, please. Right now, my house rent is due. And the nylon company I used to work, they have closed. They didn't even pay us before they closed.
All right, Faith.
I'm just
Do you have a
asking
WhatsApp
that,
number?
Please.
Do you have a WhatsApp number?
If it is 5,000 naira,
Do you have a
please give
WhatsApp
me.
number?
I don't have, ma.
It's 0817175633.
Please, ma,
Send
can
your
you call
details
it again?
there. 081
081
717
717
56
338.
338. Yes.
Okay, ma, I'll send
Thank
the
you.
message
Thank you
now,
very much.
please.
Thank you. All right. The number to call is 08036909933. Let's actually hear from you concerning the situation. I told you that it's a step down session, and there are a lot of persons that are in this situation. It's just that some of them may not speak out, but it's not. Hello.
Hello, Xtian.
Yes. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Xtian, good evening, everybody there.
Good evening.
This is my first time of getting this here new number. I was the one complaining yesterday that you don't call numbers while you are doing your programs.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, all things being equal, I greet all of you there.
All right.
And I'm happy. Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Mr. Ola Emmanuel, we've actually run out of time. It's 8:59. So, what would be your advice on this generally?
Thank you. On a general note, the thing goes back to the people in government, the governance. Let them remove all their hands from all forms of influences on all judiciaries, executive and whatever. Let the right thing be done. Now on the judiciary, before now, it has been said that judiciary is the hope of the masses. That has turned.
All right.
The judiciary should be able to stand and pass judgment without bias.
All right.
That is one. On a political plane, the people in politics should know it is not a do or die affair. They should allow people to choose whosoever they want to be chosen. Then lastly, if you are asked to come to a leadership position, it's because they want you to serve the interests of the masses. They should stop serving their own interests to the detriment of the masses.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ola Emmanuel. Mr. Lawa Ikunda, I know you've left. Thank you so much. My name is Esther Wachuku. I am sincerely happy to be with you this evening. Bye for now.
That man is not serious.